certainly windy conditions at Franklin Field.
Well, I love races like this. Anyone that knows me knows I am a sucker for keeping athletes in the sport after college, continuing to give them an opportunity to run. Some great clubs represented in this race. GRC, a great one out of DC, CPTC, Tracksmith, Liberty Track Club, Garden State Track Club, and more. We will talk you through all the starters in this heat, but keep that time in the back of your mind for Sophia Rodriguez, the middle school athlete attempting the, potentially, we don't know for sure, but potentially attempting that record. She is bib number 6 in the pink, the Under Armour cap there in picture right here. Should be looking for about 78 seconds per lap to break that 16:24. Should have a lot of women in this race prepared to do that work with her.
Yeah, I'll run through the start list now. Scheduled to run: Grace Moore, Kelly Cowell, Gina McNamara, Erin Jaskett, Lily Anderson, Sophia Rodriguez, Maria Sikora, Lee Sherrick, Amanda Asaro, Elizabeth Lassiter, Kate McCrary, Laurel Fisher, Shannon McCarthy, Rolanda Bell, Corinne Fitzgerald, Sophie Canteen, Lindsay Oremus, Victoria Kingham, Alyssa Condell, Angie Petrichenko, Kate Cochran, and Annika Sisson.
Annika Sisson, that last name should ring a bell. That is the sister of Emily Sisson, that great athlete for New Balance. Annika did her undergrad at Stony Brook, had a great career there, and love that she is continuing with the sport here in the Penn Relays Open 5,000 meters. But it is Grace Moore who is immediately going to the front, perhaps doing some pacing work, not quite sure. Erin Jaskett of Bandit, running that new apparel company out of New York City, who's doing a great job supporting some sub-elite athletes.
Yeah, Jaskett, McNamara behind Moore. Those two out early.
Grace Moore, a U.S. native, as most of the women in this field will be. She recently ran a 3K at the Dr. Sander Invitational at the Armory, little 9:02 action. So looking for a sub-16 clocking, I am sure, here at Penn.
She was about 73, but the large majority of the pack was 78.
Rodriguez came through on my watch at 78.3, so perfect, especially in the 5,000 meters. Okay to be a little bit slower early on, but Rodriguez really not wanting to wait around, as she is now going to the front of that chase pack, deciding to go after this herself.
Still up front, that's Grace Moore, Leonia Track Club. She's going to hit 600.
Grace Moore has a PB in this event of 15:30. Looking on my list, most of the women in this field probably chasing those low 16-minute ranges, some in the mid-16. So Grace Moore with that 15:30, unsurprising to see her up front.
Yeah, doesn't seem bothered at all by the fact that she's out here all by herself on a wet and somewhat windy Philadelphia evening. And Rodriguez into third, trying to perhaps latch on to Erin Jaskett, who's in second. And I wonder if that's going to initiate more of the women from that back group to come join these first three. Because right now you have 3 people running completely separate races and then one gigantic pack behind them.
Yep, Rodriguez is going to use Jaskett a little bit, doing some pacing here. One of my favorite parts of post-collegiate running is when I look up an athlete's name, sometimes their LinkedIn bio comes up before their TFRS or their World Athletics, which we are used to. Erin Jaskett, a track and field coach at Tatnall High School, inspiring her athletes by running through some pretty tough rainy conditions here at Penn Relays. You know, I'm used to, as an athlete, when I went to my coach being told, hey, there's no excuse, you can do this. She can really tell him there's no excuse. She's crushing a 5,000 meter after work on a Friday night here in the rain at Penn Relays. She's got a little bit extra reason to say, hey, there's no excuse to keep working hard to her team.
Yeah, just needs to pull up this video. Moore was a 78.1 on that last lap. Jaskett, 81. Rodriguez, 79 mid, right around where she needs to be.
I've seen Rodriguez checking her watch. She's got to know what she needs to run here to chase that 16:24. That was a record set by Emily Pigeon in 2004. We are talking about the 14-year-old age group record. It is Sophia Rodriguez who is going for that record. She is currently in third position. You see her in the white hat and the pink top, running behind Erin Jaskett, a bandit running. But our leader continues to be Grace Moore. She's clicking off 78s. Perhaps that's where Rodriguez should have gone with, but Grace Moore doing the work out in front. Rodriguez already wanting to move into second.
Moore, her lead continues to grow. Back to Jaskett and Rodriguez. And she made up about a second and a half on the field on that last quarter. And it looks like an even greater margin.
Leonia Track Club is who she represents, a developmental running team serving as a training group for runners of all levels, giving an opportunity especially to collegiates and post-collegiate athletes hoping to continue improving after college. I love groups like that. I have one myself. Really keeps athletes in the sport, especially when you're graduating from college, 21, 22. There's still so much left ahead. 14-year-old Sophia Rodriguez, so much left ahead of her in the sport, especially in recent times. Have you seen so many women on the U.S. level in their mid-30s or even later still crushing top races at an international level?
So Moore was 76.7 there, her fastest lap. Rodriguez and Jaskett, 81. Maria Sikora of Philadelphia Runner Track Club, with a 7 on her bib, ran a 79 to get back in that group, get a look at some of the other runners in that pack. But the story here is Moore's lead continues to grow. Sikora has joined Rodriguez and Jaskett. You'll get a view of that in just a moment as they round that curve. And then everybody else still clumped together. But Moore is running away with this race so far. Her lead is about 90 meters, Hayden.
Sikora back and forth, a local here of Pennsylvania, went to undergrad at Princeton, did her grad years at Villanova. We've talked about Villanova throughout the broadcast, such a great history here at the Penn Relays. Now an adjunct teacher at Immaculata University and just crushing 5Ks casually on a Friday night.
Sophia Rodriguez leading that group of 3 in the white hat. Moore's last quarter, 77. Rodriguez, Jaskett, and Sikora right around 80 seconds.
Yep, Rodriguez has started to split 80s, 81s. That's all right. We need to get that pace moving, though. But again, if you're going after world record, this is not world record conditions. This is a great condition to start racing, and Rodriguez getting that opportunity, getting to race against some post-collegiate women here as she leads the chase pack. Got to be clear here, the chase pack here, Grace Moore is our leader. She's got about 100 meters on the rest of the field, but that chase pack is Sophia Rodriguez, Erin Jaskett running for Bandit Running, and Maria Sikora of Philadelphia Runner TC.
Get a good look there at the rain that's been coming down at Franklin Field all day, making some puddles on the track. It's not impacting Grace Moore right now. She's continuing to click off quick quarters and lengthen her lead in this open club women's 5,000. Sophia Rodriguez has opted to remove the hat and now has opened up a gap on 3rd and 4th place. We mentioned her PR is 16:39. That's right at 80 seconds a quarter.
So that lead pack, Grace Moore clicking off 76s, 77. Sophia Rodriguez running more 80s and 81s.
Except for that last lap. So now
dropping the pace a little bit. Good call.
Yeah, 79.8. Moore's time was a 79. So it's still early days and still a huge lead for Grace Moore. But Rodriguez looks content to go at this alone and still looks very aggressive in this race as she's running off by herself. It's going to be a lot of work to get all the way up to Grace Moore.
Well, it's clear she came here for a reason, and it was not to sit back in the pack. It was to chase something bold. That's what Sophia Rodriguez, the middle school athlete in the pink, has decided to do here as she is starting to cut down the pace a little bit, getting into some 79. She's going to need to average sub 78s in order to break 16:24, which is that record. But even without that, she is well on PR pace. That PR of 16:39, breaking that would be a huge achievement for the middle school athlete today.
Yeah, in this weather, in this conditions, against this field with a race developing like this, none of that is pointing in her favor. So if she could do it in this race, that would be a great performance.
And I love the way she's attacked this race. She stayed a little patient early, waited to see what that chase pack would do, realized that was too slow for what she wanted, moved up, started running with Erin Jaskett, a bandit, running for a little bit, but even then decided that wasn't her race. So she went after her own race, her and Grace Moore. Grace Moore in first, Sophia Rodriguez a distant second, the middle schooler in the pink there on your screen. But Rodriguez said, I'm here to run for a reason. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to run hard. I don't care that I'm only at 2K and have 3K left to go in this race. She is running brave up front and getting after it.
Yeah, Hayden, she's about 5 seconds clear of the duo that she was running with just a few laps ago. So she set off on a different pace entirely with those 79s. She's actually running pretty similar to our leader, Grace Moore. The only difference was Moore got off to a much quicker start. But we'll see, maybe Rodriguez can start to reel her in. Grace Moore, though, still looking real solid and composed.
It'll be interesting to see if she can reel her in. I don't think so. Grace Moore, in my mind, perhaps just, got out quick, was feeling good, and at this point has looked back, decided this is kind of over with. I've got 100 meters on the field. I'm just going to get in my workout and grab that Penn Relays title.
78.8 for Moore. That's the second 78 high in a row.
Grace Moore in the top right of your screen. Sophia Rodriguez, the middle school athlete, only 14 years old in the left side of your screen. She is currently in second place, leading a host of women twice her age.
So that's 81 for Sophia Rodriguez through 3K in 10:04. Grace Moore was 9:44. Give you an idea, indoors, Rodriguez has run 9:39 for 3,000.
So 10:04 through 3K, but she's still attacking. I haven't seen any doubt in her face as she continues to charge forward. The chase pack has started to make connection to Maria Sikora and Erin Jaskett, who have been in that chase pack. Jaskett decides to go around and start moving up. But this should be a great race for a lot of these women in the chase pack. I love the way it's strung out right now. Every woman, one after another, usually bodes very well for setting PRs and getting some pacing set for you here at the Penn Relays.
Moore was 79 again there, 11:03 through 3,400. Less than a mile to go for her, and these women are coming up on less than a mile to go as well. Sikora at the front, Philadelphia Runner Track Club. Jaskett in there as well. Lily Anderson, Kate McCary, Shannon McCarthy, all in that chase pack. Sikora opening it up again, though.
Grace Moore continues to click off about 78, 79s. She is still extending her lead up front for Leonia Track Club. As you said, came through 3K at 9:44, 20 seconds in front of the rest of the field. That continues to grow, but it is Sophia Rodriguez in second. She's continuing to click off 80. She's still got a very good shot at setting her personal best that sits at 16:39.
Yeah, she's in great position to do that. This is obviously the hardest part of the 5,000. She can get to a lap to go, still clicking off 80s. Got to feel really good about where she's at. She was 80.7 that last lap. We shall see here. Sikora looks to be gaining on her a bit. I'm curious what this next split's going to be, as Sophia Rodriguez will have 3 to go once she crosses the finish line.
Coach Devin Martin, Central Park Track Club athletes all doing great in the chase pack. Good to see a large contingent of them in the mix in the chase pack, but it is still Grace Moore up front and Sophia Rodriguez in second.
So Moore with a 77, went back down to 77s after a couple laps at 78 and 79. Rodriguez was an 81.5. Still an amazing run for her.
Moore's starting to smell the campfire at the end of this, hoping for a warm shower after it. I am sure she's starting to cut down the pace, getting a little bit faster with each lap. As you said, 77. Sophia Rodriguez in 81 there. A little bit slower. Sikora is actually the one who's starting to come back here. Maria Sikora, Philadelphia Runner Track Club, is in third. She split a 79.
So more up front still. She's going to have 2 to go. Rodriguez will have 2 to go as well. We'll check the splits to see. Rodriguez having to do so much running by herself. She's been in second for a long time and nobody close to her on either side. Such a tough task on a 5,000, which is already a really difficult event to handle, both the mental component and the physical side of things.
About a 40-meter gap separating Sophia Rodriguez to Maria Sikora. You can see it there. Sophia Rodriguez is in second place. Grace Moore has 600 meters to go. She is almost a full 200 meters clear of the rest of this field, as you can see all that empty track behind her. That was a 78.4 for Grace Moore, so staying consistent right around that 77 high, 78 low. Sophia Rodriguez has now slowed a little bit, now starting to run 81s, 82s as the chase back led by Maria Sikora starts to reel her in a little bit, but with just above 600 meters to go, I'm not sure it'll happen.
Still got a big cushion on third place. So 600 to go for Rodriguez. Moving up is Alyssa Condell, Philadelphia runner, in the red ahead of her teammate, Maria Sikora. So we got the bell lap now.
Yep, Grace Moore starting to close here. 350 meters separates her from the finish line. Her PB is not going to be in the cards today, but a good hard effort in rainy conditions here at Penn Relays. Sophia Rodriguez is still in second. She's about to be coming through our bell lap about 200 meters, so you're looking at Grace Moore passing a lapped runner. Grace Moore is your leader, and you're about to see 200 meters to go right there.
Grace Moore, Leonia Track Club. She was 14:56 at the bell, and there's Sophia Rodriguez. She was 15:31 at the bell, 14 years old. A spectacular effort for her tonight in tough conditions at the Penn Relays.
You can see her working through the pain there, 4,600 meters down in this race, and she is starting to charge for home. 300 meters, but Grace Moore is finishing right now. 50 meters separates her from the finish line. Grace Moore is going to be our champion here of the women's 5,000 meters, and she stops the clock at about 16:11.
Dominant win for Grace Moore of Leonia Track Club. Wire to wire, not challenged. Strong run for her, and now we have a good race for second between Rodriguez and Condell. Condell on the outside is going to move past Rodriguez.
Into the headwind and the rain in the final stretch. We have another woman coming on strong. I think that's Jasket, who did a lot of the early work for Bandit Running, charging to pass Condell, and Rodriguez is fading here a little bit, but what a great effort from the 14-year-old. They're going to run about 16:50. Jasket dips under with a 16:49. So does Condell with a 16:49.6. And Rodriguez time 16:51, mostly by herself, let's add. Just super tough running by the 14-year-old. She's tougher than me, I can guarantee you that.
They don't design 5,000-meter races much harder than this, in between the rain, a little bit of wind, and just how the competition unfolded. So tremendous effort for Sophia Rodriguez, 16:51 for fourth. Alyssa Condell in third, 16:49. Erin Jasket second, also at 16:49. And Grace Moore takes the win in the women's 5,000-meter open club presented by On. She ran 16:11.18.
And we still have a few more athletes. That is our last athlete, actually, that will finish. So we will throw it to a break here before coming back with the last event of the day, the men's 5,000-meter open and club competition presented by On. See you back here on Flow Track in a minute.